Welcome to the Third and 10 podcast, episode 3 of season 3. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined by my guy, Brian Germanaro. Happy Tuesday to you folks. I look different, I know. Usually I'm wearing a hat, but the first time in my life, I got a haircut from a barber, which is really cool.
Everyone, Nate became an adult.
I
You got the
okay,
adult. You got the adult barber.
okay. Yeah, usually I go to some Asian hair salon and get my hair done, but yesterday was a bit different. Shout out to my guy. His name is Fredo.
Breaking
For
my heart, Fredo. Is he Italian at least? You never seen
uh,
Godfather?
I have I feel like you know me enough to know I'm so behind on a lot of stuff, my friend. I never seen any of that stuff. No, but he's Hispanic, so shout out to him, hell of a guy.
New segment this summer. Nate watches. We're just gonna put all the movies that everyone should watch in their life and that you haven't, and we're gonna watch them.
On Star Wars, bro, I haven't watched
Star Wars, Godfather. What else haven't you watched that I've been shocked by?
A lot of stuff, a lot of stuff, but it's okay. I still when I watch stuff, bro, it's either sporting events because the playoffs are still on right now, or it's Family Guy in the background because I'm always doing something and I'm like I can't be. I haven't enjoyed a new show in quite some time, and hopefully I can change that this summer for sure. But we'll see. But how are you, my friend? How's everything with you?
Good. Just chilling over here in the rainy Northeast. It sucks. It sucks. Can the weather just stop being bipolar? Can we just get 1 week it's all sun and rainbows, oh yay, spring's here, and then it rains and then it drops to 30 again. It's can we just get some consistency here? Maybe just consistent 60 degrees.
Yeah, look, summer's gonna obviously summer hasn't really started yet, huh?
No, summer doesn't start till NHL playoffs are over.
Yeah, true. And that's when baseball season really begins.
That's when baseball takes over.
Oh man, it's gonna be nice weather. The balls are gonna be flying out of the park.
Yup.
That'll be nice. We'll talk a lot about more about baseball later on in the show. But it's mostly going to be Brian's segment with the Mets. But I want to shout out my A's real quick. We are tied for first in the West.
Playing Mariners this week.
Yes, sir. I don't know I don't know if it's because the division just sucks or if the A's are actually good.
Both.
Yeah.
Give me both.
I would thank you. I like that. I like the positivity. Yeah, honestly.
I was big on the A's in our preseason. I just had them low because, everyone else in the division was good.
Yeah, and for me, I was like, look, it would be shocking to see the team be a wild card team, and they are just, at this point right now, playing extremely well. They're young, they're gritty, they fight, they score runs, and shout out to Jacob Wilson, man. Second best player in terms of batting average in regards to runners and scoring position, which
huge.
Means, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, which basically means when guys are on base, he gets hits a lot and drives in runs. He's second behind Aaron Judge, who is on a freaking tear.
Aaron Judge doesn't count, okay? Aaron Judge should not count for
no,
because he's an alien.
No, yeah, definitely. And he was our MVP pick last week for the both of us.
Thursday, yep.
Yeah, when we're making our picks. And you can check that episode out on our YouTube page if you missed out on that. But overall, here's the game plan for today. We are ending the Shadeur Sanders debate for good. To be more specific, a lot of you folks out there probably have seen my my reaction to us not get,
Your love affair with Shadeur Sanders?
My love affair, which sounds really, really weird if you say it like that. We're ending my thoughts on that for good today. Spoiler, I wish him nothing but the best, but there's some things that came out recently that we need to discuss in regards to him. But later on after that, we'll be discussing our best rookies to draft for fantasy football, our first fantasy segment of the season, which is going to be fun. Flushing Faithful with Brian will be also discussed as well, as the Mets started a new series with the Diamondbacks yesterday, but we'll talk about their series that they just went through over the weekend. And finally, we have our post-game segment, which includes an update on the NBA playoffs. And, of course, another AFC North player getting criticized, but this time getting released correctly due to issues with massages. We'll get there when we get there. So, but yeah, make sure to follow us on all social media at 3010 Pod on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Without further ado, let's get started.
There you go.
Alrighty. Shadeur Sanders. He was a prospect I've been enamored with for quite some time. The moment he transferred from Jackson State to Colorado, I was like, I gotta tune in, and it's fun. Seeing him play in college was fun. Whether it's
the TCU game was unbelievable. His first start.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic. That game was fantastic. I mean, the defense was non-existent, but
that's classic Big 12 right there. That's classic Big 12 football.
Hell yeah. I mean, he was just accurate, throwing the ball. It was guys, and the guys he played with in college were so much fun to watch, whether it's Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., LaDonte Wester, Dylan Edwards in that first year with Colorado before he transferred. He was a running back that played against TCU and dominated that game. That game against Colorado State, that was fun to watch. I went to 2-3 OTs, I think. I went to a few overtimes. That was fun to watch. But of course, they struggled in their last year in the Pac-12 so they were in the Pac-12 that first year that he was there, and then they switched to the Big 12 last year. And he still tore it up, man. He was one of the more, if not the most accurate quarterback in college football. Passing yards, he was like top 10. Passing touchdowns, he was top 10. He had all the looks of being a first-round pick this season, or this past draft. Was I upset the Giants didn't take him at 3? Sure. I mean, we met up with him so many times. I'm like, dude, we have to take him here, and in most mock drafts, he was going in the first round. So I'm like, okay, if he's going to go in the first round, we got to take him at 3. Otherwise, we might not be able to get him. But as we all know, Shadeur Sanders didn't go in the first round. He didn't go in the second round. He didn't go in the third round. He didn't even.
Fourth round.
Yeah.
Not 4, not 5, not 6.
Not 7. But in reality, he did fall to pick 144, which was the 5th round. Yeah, in the 5th round.
5th round.
Yes, 5th round pick. To the Cleveland Browns, who drafted Dylan Gabriel also. But they picked Gabriel 2 rounds earlier. So, for those of you who may have seen my dismay or my reaction,
watch Nate die live on camera.
Yeah, basically. For those who haven't seen that, you can check out the Belly Up Sports Media channel on Twitter as my reaction to us not getting Shadeur at pick 25 when the Giants traded up back into the first round to get a quarterback. We got Jaxson Dart instead, and we'll talk about Dart towards the end of this segment specifically. Because I need to say things about him and I feel like he hasn't gotten the love that he's deserved from me. Not like it matters that it comes from me, but from it personally, I haven't really given him that much love. But with every passing pick that Shadeur fell, I felt better about us taking who we got, which was Dart. But Shadeur was always an option. So I looked into some stuff yesterday. And the Giants, when they were thinking about getting a quarterback at 3, they thought, or Ian Rappaport thought it was going to be Shadeur Sanders that they were going to take. And he believes that if Dart wasn't there for New York, trading up for Shadeur at 26 was going to be an option. And that was something that they were absolutely thinking about. And you guys are probably thinking like, oh my God, what a surprise. Yeah, it's really not. He was always going to be in play. There was always interest in him in this offseason. Again, this goes back to the East-West Shrine Bowl. It took place at the end.
Farther than that. It goes. I heard at the end of the season he was QB1 on our board.
Yeah, but the East-West Shrine Bowl is when kind of things really just took off. Some of the drafts, top prospects were draft scouts were enamored with Sanders at that point in time, and Sean Merriman, who is a former NFL All-Pro linebacker for the Chargers, was on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams, who, by the way, is a rock star at what she does. But Merriman was talking to her and said, quote, I talked to Daboll and I talked to Schoen, and I can tell you between the Giants and the Titans, they would not leave Shadeur alone. There was just so much interest in him with the Giants and the Titans that he was blown away. There were just cameras always around him and so many just scouts trying to talk to him. And we saw that, right? We saw that in videos. We saw Daboll dabbing up Shadeur. And being the Shadeur fan I am, I was like, oh my God, like, it's happening. Like, these two are going to have such a great connection in New York when he gets drafted to the Giants. However, he did mention that there has to have been something that happened from the East-West Shrine Bowl, between that bowl game and the draft. And whatever happened caused everybody to just look past him and not want to draft him because he wasn't practicing, right? He didn't play in it. The Giants had Daboll and Schoen there. The Titans were very high in him. And if whatever happened between that and the draft, and between the bowl game and the draft, if that didn't happen, we could have seen Shadeur be number one.
Yeah. If the draft's in January, Shadeur Sanders is a top 3 pick.
Yeah, that's just the reality of the situation. And yeah, we just don't. Well, Merriman doesn't know what exactly happened in between that time frame, but it was clear according to him that based off the conversations, based off what he saw, that he was going to go either to the Titans or the Giants within those top 3 picks. So I'm like, okay, what exactly happened? Maybe he doesn't know, but maybe there's something that did happen. And you kind of brought this up before. I think you brought it up on the day of the draft when the first round happened, and we were on the Belly Up live stream. So, and I'm trying to break this down because I honestly didn't know what this exactly meant.
Yeah,
I didn't
know what it meant when I brought it up either. I just had heard that Daboll had a bad interview with Shadeur. That's all I knew. I didn't know specifics. I just knew whatever happened in between those two was not good. Yes.
And what Brian is referring to is that the Giants, not just with Shadeur, but with all the quarterbacks that they bring in for meetings and stuff, they give the quarterback a mock install that has errors in it, which is a common practice among NFL teams. And the candidate has to spot the errors. And if he doesn't, it could affect his evaluation. So a mock install, if I could describe it as best I can, and Brian can help me out with this too, because I might sound like an idiot. It's a mock install. It's just like a new like formation, a new plays and something. And they have to the quarterback that's they're interviewing has to oh yeah, that seems off, or that the terminology is off, or whatever the case may be. I think did I explain that correctly?
Yeah, it's kind of like the best way I can remember when you were in elementary school and you were given a sentence and you had to be like, is this a real sentence or not?
Yes.
It's kind of that, where it's is this a real sentence? And then if it wasn't, you had to fix it. That's kind of, I would say, the simple man version of what it'd be, the real world application. Yeah. I think we've all done that.
Yeah, to keep it simple.
Obviously a lot more complicated than that, but I feel like that's an easier way for someone like us who have never been, in an NFL locker room to kind of process it.
Yeah. The quarterback just has to just be that just seems off.
Yeah, that coverage is not working with this, or the blocking is off. We should switch it to this.
Exactly. So when we had Shadeur in for the meetings, when we were interviewing him and trying to see what we had in it, or what we could possibly have in him, I should say, the Giants weren't too happy with the way Shadeur reacted, because Shadeur got pissed with the team. Because obviously when the Giants put this mock install in, and then they had these errors in that, Shadeur didn't catch these errors. And when he found out about that and he got caught out on it, it didn't go well. He was pissed off that they did that to him and everything. And I was like, but you're a top 10 quarterback or top 10 prospect in this draft, and you couldn't find these simple errors, and you're mad about. And Daboll was pissed that that Shadeur reacted the way he did. So all this love, this enamorism that Daboll had for Shadeur was just out the window. And the fact that we met up with him so many times and we didn't take him at 3, because if Tennessee didn't take him at 1 because they had their eyes set on Ward after, even before the bowl game, we knew Cam Ward was going to go number 1. Before the East-West Shrine Bowl, Tennessee had obviously interest in Shadeur, but we all could have predicted that.
Even if you didn't go 1, it was pretty obvious he was going to be first quarterback off the board, no matter where quarterbacks went. If it was between Ward and Sanders, everyone's going Ward.
Exactly, because Ward was he's a different type of player. Like he's a guy that really keeps his head down. There's not much drama with him, which compared to Shadeur.
And there's not Shadeur Sanders could be a top 10 pick, and that's fine. But I think there was an agreement on everyone that Shadeur does need time to develop.
Yes.
Cam Ward, I think, was the only quarterback that could start week 1. I don't think, and now Shadeur Sanders could start week 1, don't get me wrong, but I think that's detrimental to his development, whereas Cam Ward, I think, can handle it.
Yeah. And with Cam Ward, he had much better traits, just better qualities, leadership-wise, and all that stuff. So with Tennessee taking Ward, if New York didn't take Shadeur at 3, that was going to just sound an alarm across the all other 30 teams, 29, 30 teams that could have possibly taken him. So it's like, you guys met with him so many times just to not draft him? So you have that, and you add on the fact that he was pissed off about this mock install stuff, and that just, you pair that together, that's why he fell.
Yeah,
past the first, second, third,
and the interviews
rounds.
Too. And the interviews. Other rumors going around that he played. I don't know how true these are, of course. But he played music through headphones, answered to FaceTime, we both agree that the stuff at the combine was a bit overblown with the way he was wearing his hat and stuff.
Yeah.
But for a more one-on-one interview like that is a job interview. There is a professionalism you have to go into that. I'm not saying you have to go in, in a suit and tie and you would if you were going to apply to be an accountant somewhere. But you do have to take it seriously. Don't answer your phone unless there's an emergency or something, or be like, oh my God, hey, my mom's calling me. Do you mind if I just pick it up and just quickly just make sure everything's okay? Different story. For the way it seemed like a friend called him and he started chatting with a friend. A little different. So that lack of professionalism, and then with all the Dion stuff, he comes off as a spoiled brat is what he came off as, I think, to teams. And he didn't have he could be a good NFL quarterback, but I don't think he had the Johnny Manziel-esque where he okay, this is a guy that played in a big conference and played really well. We'll deal with the warts if it means we have a generational star here. Sanders had problems that he'll never reach that level. At best, he's going to be a 15 to 10 quarterback in the league. I don't see him ever getting to that upper echelon like a Mahomes is.
Mm-hmm. I get, it's a different story if he's being criticized for wearing his hat the wrong way.
Yeah, that's
what ticked me off when people were oh, this and that. That's why he shouldn't be we shouldn't take him because of that. But if he's acting the way he did, during one-on-one interviews, whether it's the phone calls that you mentioned or getting pissed off over failing to find an error instead of playing, oh, my apologies, like, yeah, I should have caught that and whatever. I just missed out on him, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a different story. And that's where it's like, okay, for me, I don't want that on my specific team. I'm glad I can get to root as a player with the talents that he has, because it's not like, oh, yes, he has the last name Sanders and he's trash. What we've seen in college, he's a good quarterback skills-wise. It's just the off-the-field leadership type of traits that need to be better.
And like, he's good on the field, but he's not good enough to, like, a team can deal with that, Like, he's not going to be like Josh Allen, you can deal with a little off the field stuff because he's so good. Shadeur is a good quarterback and can be a good quarterback, but he would never be, oh my God, this is the best quarterback in the league. So it's like the juice wasn't worth the squeeze when it came to Shadeur Sanders.
I like that, by the way. Good, how do I say quote?
Analogy.
Analogy. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
And with the off the field stuff with Josh Allen, it's good stuff. It's always
right. I just use him as an example. Like, if Josh Allen had the reputation that, like, Johnny Manziel had, where, like, oh, he's partying every single weekend. It's like, all right,
at least he's still performing.
We don't
on the
like
field.
that, but, like, at least he goes out there on Sundays and is an MVP quarterback.
And maybe should
Shadeur can be, but, like,
he can be.
What we saw in college doesn't look like he'd be that. Like, his pro comparison was Geno Smith. Yeah, Geno Smith is a fine quarterback, but
not a great.
Geno Smith's partying in Vegas every single weekend, and gambling till 2 a.m. I think I'm in the market for a new quarterback.
Oh yeah, no. 100%.
If Kirk Cousins is doing that, I'm in the market for a new quarterback.
100%. And Shadeur just had a few instances in college where he kind of, what we saw in video was just like, why would you say that? Like, for example, the game against in his first year. No, it was his second year against Nebraska. Yeah,
Nebraska. Yeah, the Nebraska game's where we all go to.
Yeah, with the offensive line and how he was criticizing them. He was saying, like, "Oh, how many times did Rioli get sacked?" And I was like,
"Yeah, what?"
And did he make it better by bringing the O-line in when he in his press conference the very next week? Sure, but then
that's
we saw
like
video
damage control. That's not him being genuine.
No, 100%. And then also we saw him post game when Colorado State's quarterback tried to shake his hand. He was like, no, or whatever. I'm just like, just shake his hand, dude. Like, it's not. Yeah. It's just the simple things.
Exactly. It's the simple things.
Like, did they trash talk you? Sure. But like at the end of the day, he went up to you after a loss and wanted to shake your hand.
Yeah.
Why not do it? Just shake his hand and move on.
Hockey is a sport where they literally legalize fighting and they fight each other. At the end of every single playoff series, how does it end? You shake the other man's hands.
Exactly. It's common courtesy.
Exactly.
Anything.
Hey, good game, man.
Exactly.
Leave it on the field.
Yes. So, before we get to the positive things about who we actually got in Jaxson Dart, because like I said, I haven't given him much love from my end on this show. I wish it are nothing but the best football-wise. I do. Like, I hope he succeeds. I know why we did not draft him at 3 or at 26, and I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with it now. There's no like, oh, we made a big mistake. Like, we should have got Shadeur.
There's some people on Twitter going, "This is a mistake."
Oh,
like, guys, he fell to the 5th round. We clearly didn't make a mistake here. Clearly something was wrong.
I have something for you about that. I found something last night that and this is a true story, but I'm gonna tell you in just a bit. But you're gonna either laugh or just be shocked. More probably laughing because it's kind of humorous that this occurred. But I wish you're doing nothing but the best. I know skills wise, he's a top, like you mentioned, at worst, a top 15 quarterback, because he has the skills to lead, and he's gonna have a chance to start on the Cleveland Browns. He does. The situation in Cleveland is complete doggy do. Like the competition he has. And with the Browns, I guess an anonymous source or insider was saying how they took Gabriel 2 rounds before because they feel like he doesn't he has a less chance of falling out compared to Shadeur, and I'm just like, Gabriel was mocked to be like a 6th, 7th round guy. But okay,
if
pal.
Shadeur was your guy the entire time, why even consider Gabriel?
Yeah. Why?
You're more locked in than we are. You knew he was going to fall that far. Wait a couple rounds and go get another impact player that you can team up with Shadeur Sanders, so he has a roster around him.
You could have got different players in the 3rd round, but instead you took Gabriel, which makes no sense. You reached for him so high in the draft, so that was just interesting that they decided to do that, Cleveland. But I digress. They missed out on quite a few players. I'm trying to see what were their needs again. They needed an offensive tackle. They could have used a receiver.
A guy like Shadeur Sanders, which we saw at Colorado, we got sacked 54 times, I want to say. O-line is a major deal for him. He needs that, especially if he's going to play hero ball and you're okay with that. You got to give him time.
You could have drafted Jared Wilson, who's a center from Georgia. You could have taken Caleb Rogers, the OT, Charles Grant, another offensive tackle that went off the board in round 3 after the Gabriel
was the West
pick.
Virginia kid still there at the time? Wyatt Mullum?
Wyatt Mullum. Where did he go again? I'm trying to see.
Not where he went. I know he was like around 3rd round.
Yeah, he went to
Jacksonville. My condolences, my friend.
I mean, he had to put with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like Jacksonville. 3rd round, 89th pick. How many people have we seen go to Jacksonville and die?
It's more like we've seen the amount of people that go to Tennessee as a receiver and die. That's a true statement. But as a Giants fan, I'm glad we didn't take him because of all the drama, because of all the things that he was upset about when he met with the Giants. So Daboll, Shane, hell of a job by you guys. So before we get to Jaxson Dart, and I do want to get to the fantasy rookies because that's a fun topic that you mentioned to me last night, Brian, when we were talking our pre-show stuff. There was a story, a weird one, and even I wouldn't do this. Even though I'm a big Shadeur, I'm still a big Shadeur fan. Just glad he's not on my team, but I'm glad he has a chance to succeed with Cleveland and prove a lot of people wrong. This is crazy. A Shadeur Sanders enthusiast is suing the NFL for $100 million over the, quote, much hyped quarterback's disappointing 5th round draft pick, claiming he suffered, quote, excuse my first quote that I said, claiming he suffered, quote, emotional distress and trauma as a fan and consumer because Sanders wasn't selected earlier.
This is the biggest loser I've ever heard in my life. Who is this guy? He deserves to be publicly shamed.
Well, he filed the lawsuit as John Doe. He told The Independent that it was immediate frustration that this guy was projected to be the 1st or 2nd pick, no later than top 5.
Are we sure this isn't Deion Sanders? Have we ruled that out yet?
I promise.
Where was this lawsuit filed?
It was filed. I'm trying to find out here. He's 55 years old, so I'm not sure
How
where.
How old's Deion?
Not 55. I'm pretty sure.
Deion is 57, so I don't know. We'll cut it a little close.
It says
if it was pickle, it'd be orange.
Which we'll be playing later. So good sneak peek there until what we have upcoming in on this episode. But no, this John Doe guy has no personal connection to Sanders whatsoever. Continues to say, and to have all the NFL owners collude and do not draft him, it was mentally frustrating and debilitating for them to believe that they can just do this and there's no recourse. It has to stop. What's it called? He owns a small logistics company in Atlanta. Is representing himself in court, which I'm not surprised because who in the fudge would support him?
Where did Deion start his career?
On the Falcons.
I want to say. I don't want to say. I'd say it's a long shot, but I say we can't rule him out yet.
He also so he used a pseudonym in an effort to shield his business from the spotlight as he pursues his claim. John Doe is a dedicated fan of Colorado football and has closely followed Shadeur throughout the 23 and 24 season. Attended his first game on September 2nd when they played TCU, like you talked about earlier. Witnessing, quote, firsthand Sanders' exceptional talent and potential as a quarterback in Coach Dion's debut with the program.
This guy's such a loser, an absolute loser.
And at last point, the NFL violated, he said, the Sherman Antitrust Act, claiming team owners unfairly conspired to influence the drafting process and to restrain trade and limit competition within the league.
Does this guy not realize that the NFL is one big business and every team is like a branch?
Yeah.
Like, that's not Sherman Trust Act, idiot.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. He says he's still trying to find a legal team.
Because no legal team will take it.
He says he's still trying to find one that would assist in this endeavor. I just want people to know that whenever they're feeling like they have no power, that there's always a way for you to gain power. I believe the NFL thinks that they're above the law and they can just conduct business any kind.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing happened here.
I'm sorry. Okay.
This is no.
If this isn't the biggest D writer,
this guy's got a shrine to Shadeur Sanders in his. This guy has a shrine to him.
He has to. He's probably like he's way too enamored by him that it's a bit concerning.
If I was this guy's employee, I would quit immediately. How does this guy have a company?
57. He's 57, and he's that much in love with a young 23-year-old.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, if I'm Shadeur and I see that, I'm like, thanks.
I'd be like, can I get a restraining order against this guy?
Yeah,
because
that guy. This
guy is weird.
Yeah.
If Shadeur Sanders wants to like win people back on his side, because I think he's lost some, just come out and just do like a comedy roast of this lawsuit. I think you get people on him because it's like, oh, I'm making fun of myself, but like this is insane.
Yeah. With Shadeur, by the way, speaking of good things that he has done, he's completely locked in on football. He's told everyone that he stopped rapping, which is good actually. Not that his songs are bad, but he's focused on football.
I've not listened to Shadeur's album.
Perfect timing. I don't know. It's a catchy song.
I will not.
Okay. All right. I don't blame you. But he's in Cleveland now. He's for a rookie mini camp, but he's been practicing there like since the day he was drafted. A few days after he was already in Cleveland, working out and getting ready. He visited a school or two as well, which is good to kind of get his name out there. And overall, Shadeur, look, buddy, wish nothing but the best. You have the skills. It seems like you're trying to change the narrative about your maturity level and stuff like that. Go do your thing. And go look in the NFL, all that stuff. Now, Jaxson Dart. This segment has kind of got a bit longer than usual, so I'm gonna I'll try to shorten what I want to say about Dart. The Giants loved him over quite a bit of time, and when I read about why we loved him, I was like, "That's the guy I want." Joe Schoen says a lot of quotes today, but he said everybody has a different way to learn. So if you know how to learn and what you need to do to get the information to be able to execute it, that's part of the process. Does this person know how to teach himself new material and then be able to execute it, regurgitate it, and talk about it the following day? Jaxson did a really good job with that, had his process to lead him to that point, and all these guys are trying to figure that out. Simpler form, he did what Shadeur did not do, which is point out different things. And when it came to the on-the-field stuff, Dart threw the ball really well compared to the other players that went through the same drill. But what stands out about Dart is his passion for the game, leadership amongst his teammates, and how he cross sides of the ball. And cross sides of the ball, basically, he's not just with the offense the entire time, but he's also with the defense and interacting with the defense. And that's a big part of being exposed when it comes to these, drills and stuff, because it's like, let's say you have a bad throw or something goes wrong, you come up to the sideline, right? It's like, who are you interacting with? Are you interacting with just your offensive players? No, Dart was talking with the defensive players and getting input on what they saw when they're facing him, just so he could better himself and not make those mistakes. At the end of the day, he's also talking to his wide receivers and he's talking to the offensive line. Is he by himself, or like what is he doing? Like, it's all the small things that they were trying to see in Dart, and he passed the test that the Giants had with flying colors. I mean, Mike Kafka during the Senior Bowl was there and got to see Dart up close, and he got to see how Dart was conducting himself when no one was looking at him. And Dart he was always just doing the right things. And when Daboll presented an installation of an for his offense that Dart had to learn overnight during his top 30 visit, Mr. Dart impressed Daboll quite well and pointed out the mistakes that in the install that Shadeur could not, apparently, it seems like. And yeah, just whether it's Daboll, Kafka, Schoen, he impressed all of them. And yes, he does have his flaws, no doubt about it.
Everyone does.
Everyone does. But at the end of the day, Jaxson Dart, he is our future quarterback. So I would like to say, I know, it's like, oh, you can't turn back now. Fudge, you guys, okay? I'm sorry that
I'm not going to root for my team to be bad because I did.
Exactly. I'm not going to. No, of course, no. Not like, even when we got Shadeur, I'm like, I hope it works out. But after reading what I saw, Dart, plus with the eye black thing, is super cool.
Yes.
On May 4th, when we released the graphic with Carter and
oh my God,
that was so
I almost
cool.
Printed it out and hung up in my room. That's the coolest poster.
You should like a poster of it. Ooh, I could. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing up that idea for me. I might do that actually. In conclusion, you
gotta watch Star Wars first.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry.
You can't have a Star Wars poster up and not watch it.
I know, but it's a giant Star Wars poster.
I know, but it's Star Wars.
Okay, fine. You better help me out with that later on.
Yeah.
In terms of where I start with, but at the end of the day, yeah. But yeah, Dart. I love him. Good person. Guy that Daboll and Shane both love. That's their guy. And I'm excited to see him play for us whenever that time comes. And I hope he is the future quarterback and just franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years when everything is said and done. So, shout out to Dart. Passing test with flying colors. Shadeur, you didn't. But I hope you learn from this stuff and really perform in Cleveland because you have a good shot to do so. So I talked a lot there. I don't think I really gave you much time to have any input. Do you have anything to say about Shadeur, Dart?
No, I pretty much covered it all, like through my little points here and there. Just basically just immaturity is what happened to him. He didn't take it seriously. He thought that his last name and his daddy will, carry him farther than it really did. Yeah. It's like a trust fund kid just learning how the real world works. It's what we saw.
And I hope he really learns from this and just really matures up and a good NFL teammate.
If he doesn't, he's out of the league in 2 years.
No doubt about it. All righty. We haven't talked fantasy football in quite some time, obviously, because of the offseason. But now with the rookies finding their new homes, now they haven't signed their official contracts yet, but they will soon.
Yeah.
We haven't signed anyone quite yet on our end.
That didn't really happen till like June.
Yeah, I mean, some players already signed theirs in terms of with other teams, but for us, we haven't. Like the Eagles, already signed their day 3 guys, and
well, that's easy stuff. You know, that's like you give them a couple $1,000, they'll sign happily
and call it a day, right?
Exactly. It's like, all right, we're done.
But with us, we haven't signed anyone quite yet. But Brian brought up this idea of kind of giving out some players that will stand out as rookies to draft in fantasy football this upcoming season. So we don't have a rankings list, but we want to just list players that.
Well, if you want my rankings, they're on Belly Up right now.
That is right.
Under the Dynasty Fantasy Rookie Rankings, it's me, Fitz Stover, DJ, and I believe Kevin Wilson. We all gave our Dynasty rankings for this upcoming season.
I've never done dynasty football.
It's fun.
Fantasy.
It's fun. It's like running an NFL franchise.
Oh, we should do one of those.
Yeah.
I'll talk to
mm-hmm.
Billy about that. But
yeah.
But
quarterback rankings for me for dynasty are coming out on Thursday as well. So if you want to,
so we go in position by position. Damn.
I'm covering quarterbacks this week. Next week we'll have running backs and wide receivers. I forgot. It's the four of us covering it. I forgot who's covering what. I have quarterbacks this week.
Fun stuff, my friend. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Okay, shoot. Yep. Yeah, check this out. But yeah, so in terms of rookies that you have making a big fantasy impact this upcoming season, what's one guy on your list that you have? It can be a big name guy. It can be honestly, or you can honestly give your rankings. If you have a rankings list, you can give it.
I have a ranking, but it's 30 players. We don't have time to sit here and go through 30 players. So I'll give you the highlights. I'm really big on Jack Beck, the wide receiver from Las Vegas, round 2 pick for them. I have him as my wide receiver 17th overall in terms of rookies. This is a guy that I think can go on the field pretty early because the receiving room in Vegas is not great. It's Jacoby Myers, and then that's kind of it. Like, I remember they were rumored for Cooper Kupp, didn't get him. So basically, Beck has to beat Myers, and then he is the number 2 target in that passing game behind Brock Bowers. And if they're going to bring a quarterback like Geno Smith, they're going to throw the ball, and he's going to get targets. So he's a guy that isn't just a sleeper in fantasy, but could be a really, really good pick in like round 2 of your dynasty draft.
Okay. For me, Matthew Golden is the name that stands out for me.
Yes, I have as my 11th overall player, wide receiver 4 on my rankings.
I like that. And for a good reason, right? 4.29 40 time. I think Tyreek Hill type of player. And honestly, with Green Bay, I mean, this has been a theme for quite some time. There's no wide receiver number 1 in Green Bay. There's just a plethora of guys that just can step up at any moment in Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, and Jaden Reed. Like, all those guys together, they kind of just it kind of differs every week sometimes when it comes to like who's the leading receiver. But to me, stability is important, and I feel like having a true number 1 guy will help this offense become even better, and that's where Matthew Golden comes in. Honestly, he had 23 receptions of 20 yards or more for the Longhorns last year, which just goes to show that he is a big play threat. And I feel like the Packers have lacked that, and he has a chance to be better than Wicks, better than Dobbs. Watson's always hurt all the damn time.
Yeah.
So his only competition is Jaden Reed. I think he can beat out Jaden Reed. Let's be honest. Reed's he's a solid player, but I don't think he's to the level of that. That Golden is. So he has a clear path to be the receiver number 1. Honestly, with his speed and Jordan Love's numbers will only be better throwing him the ball. So that's one guy I have. What's another guy that you have on your list?
Another guy I have. I think a lot of people were surprised he was picked this early, but Colston Loveland, Chicago's new tight end, the 10th overall pick in the draft. I know Tyler Warren was kind of the big name tight end in this draft, but if you look at the way Loveland played, he fits Ben Johnson's offense a lot better than Warren does. Like, a lot of players, a lot of his pro comparisons was to like a Sam Laporta, a guy that Johnson thrived with in Detroit. So he picked someone that could fit in his offense, and from day one be an impact starter. So I like his fitness offense, and I think that the way it's designed helps tight ends like him, and he'll carve out a good chunk of receptions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think for me, Chicago it felt like a reach getting him at 10 when Warren was on the board at 10th overall, but I was like...
You take a step back, and you just don't look at rankings. You look at fits, it makes so much sense.
It does make sense.
That's why I have him higher. I think I have him the highest of anyone. I have him as my 6th overall player, tight end 1.
Yeah, with Loveland, it's like he's someone who he is arguably the best pass catching tight end.
Yeah,
we weren't sure he's a do it all guy, but when you're good at one certain thing, it's kind of better than being just good at 3 different other things like Warren is. Like, Loveland is a great pass catcher. Sure, his blocking skills, but that could easily be fixed.
Yeah,
pass catching, no doubt. And with Chicago, The more weapons you have for Caleb Williams, the better. And that was the theme of this draft, because they drafted Luther Burden as well. Or later on,
round 2, pick 39.
Yes, that's
they
right.
Drafted him. I was my 13th player on my board.
Alrighty. I wonder where you have this guy, RJ Harvey, the running
number
back.
9.
Oh, okay.
I was very high on him. Yes.
Yes, he's comes from UCF. For those of you who don't know, the running back, 5'8", so he's a small back for sure. But the competition for the RB1 spot in Denver is weak. Sure, Jaleel McLaughlin, sure, Audric Estime, who we both love from the Irish.
He's not a bell cow.
Not a bell cow. None of the two guys are really like a guy that you can be like, okay, RB1 for all 17 games, go get him. Harvey kind of has that particular label. I mean, he was a guy who led UCF in rushing. He ran a 4.4, and he has good hands to the point where it's like Sean Payne will have a blast trying to get him involved in the passing game. So he's quick, has hands, good vision. And with the competition that he has to go up against for that leading running back spot,
he could be RB1
in the middle rounds. Yeah.
If he's a big game week 1, don't be surprised if they lean on him a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Because it's going to be a feeling out process. But like you just mentioned, it's not going to be a surprise to anyone if he takes over that RB1 spot as soon as, like you mentioned, week 2. Because it's just the competition isn't there. Like, sure, you can pair him up with the number 2, like either whether it's McLaughlin or Estime. But Harvey's he's a better prospect between the two, out of all of them.
Yeah.
So I like him. Who is another guy do you have?
Another guy I have that's big on my board is Trey Harris, the second round pick of the Chargers, wide receiver 6. I feel like Quinn Johnson did all right last year. I feel like the Chargers are still missing a true pass catcher for Justin Herbert. I think he can develop a repertoire with Harris pretty fast, so he could be a sneaky, really good receiver for your dynasty team. Again, I have him at 14. I think the other guys had him a little lower, like later teens. So again, a guy you could pick up late in your dynasty. You don't have to sink a first-round pick into him. You kind of put him on, round 2, maybe early round 3. Have him sit on your practice or your taxi squad for a year, and then get him ready for next year when he comes in ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, and then one last guy for me. And by the way, I know we haven't mentioned the big names, but the big names are obvious, right? We all know,
my
Cam
top
Ward,
5: Genty, Hampton, McMillan, Hunter, Henderson. We don't need to explain
those are obvious names. There's no need for that. Cam Ward.
If you want that, go read the article on Belly Up Sports.
I guess maybe a better way to describe the segments like fantasy sleepers, like guys that you are kind of under the radar. You guys, that you should get. And the guy that I'm going to mention as our last prospect here to talk about, Alec Ayamanor, the receiver who was drafted to the Titans. Big target, honestly. I thought he was going to go way earlier than he was taken, but he's a guy that the Titans drafted later on in the draft. And look, I know I mentioned competition a lot, but competition just matters. Like who's in front of you.
It plays a huge role for rookies in fantasy.
And with Tennessee, it's like, you got Calvin Ridley, who's solid, no doubt about it. But then there's Tyler Lockett, who Seattle let go. And let's be honest, when you go to Tennessee, you kind of just veteran receivers who go to Tennessee die. Not literally, but they just die football production wise. Yeah. Treylon Burks, who is currently the receiver number 3, but I can guarantee you he's not going to be there once the season begins. Who else is on there? Van Jefferson, but ever since he entered the NFL, has always been a number 3, number 4 guy. So that's easy work. Ayamanor has the clear pathway to being at worst the number 2 guy on the Titans receiving team. He's a big target. He's 6'2". He's had at least 6 touchdowns and 830 yards in each of his 2 seasons with Stanford. I just think he's a guy that we should watch out for. I mean, Cam Warwick was going to have a blast throwing to him in the red zone because he can trust him with those 50-50 balls. And we saw that with Stanford. He's the guy that cooked Travis Hunter when the Colorado with their first year under Deion Sanders with Shadeur and Travis Hunter. Like, he cooked him for like 10 plus catches for like 200 plus yards and a couple tutties and stuff. He's a good wideout, to say the least. And I do think he has a chance to really produce in his first year with Tennessee if all things go to plan, because of just who he has to go up against or beat out to be a number 1 or number 2 receiver on the Titans. So, yeah, other guys on my list, just obvious names: Ward, Gianti, Jaden Higgins is another guy to watch out for as well. 6'4" target. Quinton Judkins, and that's who I had that wanted to just mention real quick. But check out the article on BellyUpSports.com that Brian is a co-author of.
It's on my Twitter too, if you want it easier. Brian PG 1016. Just
right.
Much easier to find it there. It's right.
Right.
I think it's the most recent post I have besides this stream.
Yes. So. But yeah, those are our sleeper rookies. Maybe I should change I should have changed the.
It's fine. No big deal.
It's fine. Yeah. They're best sleepers to watch. There you go. Because I had to fit it in the square. Best sleeper fantasy rookies is what we'll describe that segment as. So shout out to you, Brian, for bringing up that segment, by the way. Alrighty, baseball time. This is your segment as always, Flush and Spiffle with Brian. So what do we need to know about the Mets? Because they took care of Arizona yesterday. But what happened in the series over the weekend?
Weird series in St. Louis this weekend. We got out to a really good start on Friday. Really, we got our, I believe, 9th straight win over St. Louis. Just completely dominated. Had the rain out on Saturday, which sucks. But we're like, hey, you know what? Teams have been playing a lot of games recently. Let's give them a night off. Go out for a nice dinner in St. Louis. Don't do anything crazy, but, go out, just enjoy the city, come back refreshed, ready to play 2 on Sunday. And, man, were the Mets just unlucky all day on Sunday. Like, could not drive a runner in scoring position to save their life. I think they left 13 guys on base the entire day. Juan Soto came within an inch of a 3-run home run that would have clinched this game too, but, it's a home run in 20 or 30 ballparks, but that doesn't matter if it's not a home run in the ballpark you're playing in. So, they hit the ball hard. They're just hitting it right at people. And Juan Soto, that's been the story his entire season. He has made some great contact on balls, but it's just right at somebody, right at the shortstop, or he hits it the right way and it bounces off the dirt and goes for a ground out. But unlucky all day Sunday. Could not drive the big hit. Could not just get the ball down, which I think concerned a lot of Mets fans because this is the first, I don't want to say skid, but they're not as dominant as they once were. They're playing 500 baseball right now, which, hey, if that's our low point of the season, is going to go 5-4 or 4-6, I'll take it all day. All right. That means we're still winning games at a relatively good rate. But we beat the Diamondbacks. Yes, they're struggling, but they put a comeback up last night. We were able to stop them. The Mets now I think it's time for the Mets to really consider bringing in another bullpen piece. All right. Because I know those guys in the minors, but a big guy for that was Daniel Nunez. We brought him up. Didn't look great last night. Walked the ballpark. I think he faced 3 batters, got into a full count with each of them, walked them all. That led to a big inning for the Diamondbacks, which turned a 5-1 lead into a 5-4 lead. How much – I know it's his first start, and I don't want to kill him too much because he missed a large portion of the season. But when you can't find a strike zone and your second pitch, which is your dominant pitch, your slider, was as erratic as his pitch was, might be time to look outside the organization for that. But other than that, another game against the Diamondbacks tonight. If you could take 2 or 3 from Arizona, and then you got Chicago coming into town, which are red hot. Just kind of tread water right now until the bats get really hot again.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, my friend. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
I think from now on, when you have this Flushing Faithful segment, I want to give at least one Mets question to you. I saw this article. It says that an expert actually is urging the Mets to trade for this outfielder, and his name is Cedane Rafaela from the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
Apparently, the Red Sox kind of have a logjam in the outfield position, and to the point where they almost traded away Abreu. Plus the fact that the Mets center fielders have they currently have what's it called?
Tyrone Taylor out there.
Yeah, and their OPS as a combined,
Yeah.
The center fielders have an OPS of .671, which is average 19th in MLB, but it could be better. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on Rafaela.
Yeah, I don't know Rafaela off the top of my head, but I don't think the Mets will be in a market for a center fielder just because I think they value Tyrone Taylor's defense a lot more than his offense. And plus, they have guys like Jeff McNeil, Luis Angel Acuna, Ronnie Mauricio is going to be back at some point, Brandon Nimmo. Like, they need to find ways to get back to all these guys. And center field has kind of been a place where, like, all right, we can throw McNeil out there for 6 innings. We could try Acuna out in center field. Maybe he can become an everyday center fielder. He's still young enough and has the speed to do it. So I like the idea of, having every position be good at bat-wise. But I think just where the Mets are right now, I think they should stay away and just kind of let the lineup be. If you're going to make a trade, go get relievers.
Yeah. And I heard that Winker's going to be out for quite some time.
Yeah,
6 to
8 weeks. Yes.
That's tough.
That sucks.
And then AJ Minter's out for the rest of the season.
That's the big blow. And so is Danny Young, which Danny Young sucks. Don't get me wrong. But just like the Mets, I don't think the Mets have a lefty in their bullpen right now. We need a lefty.
Yeah, that's you can never have too many bullpen pieces.
No.
Especially if you're going to be deep in the postseason. Like, you need bullpen pieces. And losing Minter's going to hurt. Or obviously,
he was our best. He was the best reliever by far.
Yeah, 1.64 ERA in 13 appearances this season. So
he was. If it was going with the way Diaz is, not that Diaz has been bad, but like he just has been his dominant self. You kind of, when he comes into games, I expect him to give up a couple base hits, maybe allow a run or two. I was almost at the point where I'm like, do you not take Diaz out of the closer role, but do you make it more of a closer by committee, where like maybe in like a 2-1 game you go to Minter instead of Diaz, but then like in a 4-1 game, that's when Diaz can come in to try to rebuild his confidence a little bit more.
Yeah. We'll see what New York does. Still best in baseball, even with the injuries and everything. So shout out to you guys, man. And I talked about the A's a little bit earlier at the beginning of the show. At the beginning of the show, holy cow! A walk-off win last night for us against Seattle. That was
huge.
Cool to watch. Yeah, yes, sure was. Tied for first in the AL West. Yes, sir. I'm so happy that we have Severino. Is such a dog.
Isn't he fun? He's such a fun pitcher.
Hell yeah, he'll always go at least 6 innings, which is insane. I don't think he has a start shorter than that. Looking at his stats this year, or I know for sure every time I watch him, he always goes 6 innings. Okay, he went 5 innings against the Rangers on April 30th, but he
5 innings is still pretty good.
Yeah, that's still
a win. That's a win.
It's more than 4, which is like you mentioned, what you need for a win. So this year has played 8 games. He's 1-3 as a starter, but that's not really his fault. Let's be honest. Has a 3.62 ERA so far this season. But he's always a consistent pitcher. He's always getting into game, not putting too much stress in the bullpen. And he's a dog, man. Like, he may not be a big strikeout guy, but he's a dog, and he'll keep you in games. So A's, come on, whenever he's pitching, give him some run support, man. Please, seriously, man. I want to see him get more wins. He's a good pitcher, but overall, the A's, man, just making me proud. 20-16 on the year so far. I said he pitched yesterday. I forgot. But yeah, 7-6 went over the Mariners yesterday. We play them again tonight, and hopefully we keep on winning, because if we win tonight, we will have sole possession of first place of the West, which will be very shocking, because no one could have predicted the A's are going to be in first place at any point of the season when they were making their predictions before the season started. So finally, one team of mine is actually doing good things. Lakers, I'm looking at you. Mother fudgers. Anyways, all right. Post-game segment, and then we have Pickle at the end of the show, like we always do. My goal was to get it in less than 5 guesses. That's our goal for today, buddy. We'll see how that goes. But Justin Tucker was released by the Ravens yesterday, as they called it a football decision.
Sure.
Right. Sure.
I mean, he has not been the kicker he once was, but I think there were other things that led maybe factored more into it.
Yeah, I wonder what things they are. But overall, if it was truly a football decision, it makes sense. After connecting on 89.1% of his field goals with the team throughout his time in Baltimore, he did struggle a lot last year in 25. The Ravens also selected a kicker in the 6th round of last month's draft. His name is Tyler Loop, which made the decision to cut Tucker easier. But in all seriousness, he is being accused of by 16 women, I should say, of inappropriate conduct during a massage therapy session. He has not been charged with any crimes or any civil lawsuits at this time. But with all the drama going on, the Baltimore Ravens said, no thanks. And he is out the door. So, hey, Cleveland, that's what you're supposed to do if someone's being accused of this stuff.
Not trade and give him an extension.
Exactly. And, maybe if he sucks at football, maybe release him. Don't keep him on the roster. This is your fault that you signed him in this big contract. This is what you're supposed to do. Or actually, instead of just following my advice, just follow Brian's advice, not even sign him in the first place or trade him in the first place. You had Baker Mayfield. It's not like he was a bad quarterback by any means. Like,
it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, but he's great now. He led the bus to the playoffs like 2 times now. What has Deshaun done? Nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. The AFC North, you got some weird people in that division. There's a weird person on each team. Well, no, maybe weird.
Who's the Giants' weird person then? Oh, Jameis.
Yeah, but that's good weird. I'm talking.
No, it is good weird. You're 100% right. It's good weird.
Yeah, like in the AFC North, every team has a bad weird. Pickens for the Steelers, Tucker for Baltimore. He's gone now.
Steelers, you could just kind of throw a dart and maybe hit one because they've been an absolute rain.
It's always their receivers.
It's always their receivers and the quarterback. Don't forget about Big Ben.
Right. Oh yeah, he had his weird moments. Yeah.
He had this Deshaun Watson moment.
Sure did.
Didn't have the quantity of Deshaun Watson, but any sort of Deshaun Watson.
But it had the quality.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
And we just kind of swept it under the rug. It's bad.
It was bad.
I didn't learn Ben Roethlisberger had those allegations against him till like when he was retiring. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Like when
maybe because I was just young and wasn't following sports back then, but I feel like that's something you should know about a person.
Yeah, well, he was in the NFL for quite a long time, so yeah, those are definitely swept under the rug for sure. Until towards the end of his career when it kind of came out, or it kind of came up again, I should say.
Because everyone's praising him, and then some people are like, are we just gonna just ignore the fact that he has against them?
Yeah. So with Pittsburgh, like you mentioned, you just throw a dart, you're gonna hit someone that's weird. With the Ravens, it was Tucker. With the Browns, it's Deshaun Watson, and then if I had to find one weirdest person,
it's the Bengals owner.
Yeah.
Like Brown,
he just doesn't spend money.
He kept Marvin Lewis around for 17 years. Marvin Lewis, he was a good coach.
He was so average.
He was so average. He was kind of like the Doc Rivers of the NFL. We're like, oh yeah, he's good in the regular season, but once that postseason comes around, he sucks.
Wasn't there a story about Joe Burrow when his house got robbed? How there was a girl there who worked
his girlfriend.
For him? Yeah, now it's his girl. Man, that's crazy, ain't it?
His girlfriend. Which, by the way, why was she on payroll? I don't think we're asking the right questions here. He said that Olivia Mondon, was that her name?
Mondon?
Whatever her name was, it said multiple times that she was on Joe Burrow's payroll. What was she doing on Joe Burrow's payroll?
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's such a weird way of phrasing that. Like you could say oh, she was an employee of Joe Burrow's, media team, PR team. No, on payroll. I don't want to assume stuff, but like that gives off a weird vibe. Like, why aren't you being specific about what she did? And maybe there is, and I just didn't see it. But that's just a weird way of describing on the payroll.
She is a model and content creator from Naples, Florida.
What kind of content?
She's model for Skims, Ralph Lauren, and Victoria's Secret, among others. I knew I was thinking the same route you were thinking, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm still thinking that what you just listed off did not say otherwise.
I'm trying to real quick see.
I'm on it right now.
No, there is nothing in regards to that platform. I can confirm.
Gotcha. Okay.
She is also a Sports Illustrated. She was a Sports Illustrated model as well.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, TMZ said Olivia was described as an employee of Joe's in a police report. An insider was quick to tell people, the company people, that the pair had been hooking up for a while, but were keeping it casual. So, Joe, you sly dog, you ain't fooling nobody. Just because you put her on the barrel doesn't mean there's more to that. So, man, imagine paying someone to beat. No. Joe wouldn't do that. He's too. To the ladies, he's too good looking, from what I've heard. He's not the type.
Oh yeah, every lady loves him.
Okay, honestly, I don't think he put her on his payroll. That makes no sense.
That's what it was described as the police report, I believe. On the payroll. What does that mean?
So he paid her to be his.
I don't think that, but like, why are you describing him as an employee and on the payroll when they were like, just having just something casual? Just say they were just like casually like hanging out. Say payroll.
Maybe she's an employee to do nice things to him.
All right, new topic.
All right, you sly dog, Joe. You Joey Burr.
Shout out Joe. Good for him.
Yeah. We love Joe. Everyone loves Joe. No, literally everyone loves Joe. You can't tell me one woman does not love Joe Burrow.
Alabama fans.
That LSU team was something. Oh man, they teamed up again. Oh, Jefferson. Hey, Jay Jettas. If you don't win nothing in Minnesota.
No, they can't do that because that's the same problem the Bengals have had. Stop getting offense, get defense.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if it don't work out in Minnesota, Jay Jettas, Cincinnati will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, they drafted defensive players.
Okay, they drafted defense.
They're working.
All right. They gambled on defensive players. They could have gotten established good veterans and instead tripled down on their wide receiver position and gave T. Higgins a contract extension. Good for T. Higgins, but they could have gotten a lot cheaper guy. They could have signed Tyler Lockett, and he probably would have been just as good in that offense. He would have played a better role because they would have Jamar Chase as the wide receiver one. You could have put better guys on defense, and you still have some production from wide receiver two. With a quarterback like Joe Burrow.
I don't know. I'm glad they brought back Higgins just for that offense. I think it's
right, but it's taking away resources from the defense, which is going to hurt them.
Offense wins championships.
That's the exact opposite of that saying.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the positives. All right. But yeah, shout out to the Bengals, man. They're a good team. Hopefully, I hope Henderson stays with them. I will say, I hope things get figured out. Don't know how, but I hope they figure it out. The NFL draft will be in Washington in 2027 for the first time in 85 years.
I see some of these pictures, and they look awesome.
They look great, don't they? The draft was held in New York for 49 straight years, from 1965 to 2014, before the NFL in 2015 were like, we need a different place. Really, there was no competition for the 2027 draft home because Denver was the other city that was in mind. So, yeah, no one wanted to host a draft in that year. But yeah, it's going to be in Washington. So next year it's going to be in Pittsburgh. And then 27 it's going to be in Washington. So shout out to the people of Washington. Hope you guys host a good draft when the time comes. And I mean, I don't know if there's anything to add on other than that. So
yeah, I mean, Washington with the wins, they got the new stadium coming back.
That is true. That's right. Yeah,
Commanders coming back to DC, got the draft coming in. It's a good time for Washington football fans. Good times.
Hell yeah. They got good things going on over there for sure. I mean, they could use some good news because their basketball team is trash.
They've been trash for years.
Yeah. Speaking about basketball, though, quick NBA update for those of you all. Nuggets took Game 7 against the Clippers to advance from the first round to the second to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Denver leads that series 1-0 after Aaron Gordon
fan buddy was in shambles last night.
I know. I'm sorry. Why would you foul when you're up 3?
I have no idea. All I know is he told me the foul happened. He turned the TV off and went to bed.
So he knew.
It's like, I'm done. Can't do this.
Hey, I mean, look, if he kept watching, Chet Holmgren had a chance to make 2 free throws, and he only made one of them. And
that's what it was. That's the free throws what made him go to bed. That's what made him go to bed.
Yeah, he missed the second one.
I'm like, well, the only 2 options were either go to bed or rip the TV off the wall. So I'm glad you went.
Thank God he chose the first option.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aaron Gordon had the game-winning 3-pointer with about 1 second left, and to take Game 1 in OKC. And yeah, I have Denver. I chose on the Corner Booth podcast. I chose Denver to win in 6, and so far my prediction. I
saw Thunder in 6.
Yeah, I don't think I asked you about the predictions quite yet. For the second round. So
yeah, no, that's Thunder in 6.
Okay, gotcha. Minnesota and Golden State. So Golden State also survived the Game 7 against Houston. After losing Game 6, they came back and won Game 7.
Poor Rockets fans.
I know, bro. Second seed.
He can't keep getting away with this.
It wasn't even Curry. That's the thing. Like, it was Buddy Hield that carried the damn team in Game 7. So, man, I think Curry had 3 points at the half.
Like, it's gonna be 25 years from now. We're gonna see Warriors and Rockets fans our age are just gonna have flashbacks.
It's like, no, he's gonna do it again.
Like, guys, it's a completely different organization. Like, a new ownership is in here. I can't. It's gonna be the same.
It's like we've been hurt for too long to expect anything different. But yeah, Golden State survived the Game 7 against Houston, won 103-89, and they will take on Minnesota here in the second round. Minnesota has home court advantage. Because they will host Game 1 and Game 2. So who do we have in this series? I have the Wolves in 6 as well.
I got the Wolves on the Lakers. I don't think the Warriors are as good as the Lakers are. I give me the Wolves. Okay. Love this Wolves team. Nice story going on over there in Minnesota.
Ant's a stud, but the supporting cast has definitely stepped up in quite a few games so far in the postseason. So shout out to those guys.
Rudy Gobert just had himself a game against the Lakers. Jesus.
And don't remind me. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. It's just sweet.
I was always mad at Rudy Gobert because who gives up four first round picks for Rudy Gobert?
No one except Minnesota. In terms on the other side, the Pacers Pacers took care of the Bucks 4-1. They took on the Cavs, and Indiana pulled out a win in Cleveland, who is still without Darius Garland. I do think the Cavs will shape up, and if Garland does come back for Game 2, I do see the Cavs winning in 5. The Pacers are a great team. Much respect to them. I just think Cleveland's the number 1 team for a reason in the East. So give me the Cavs in
Give me the Cavs in 7, though.
Ooh, okay.
I think Pacers make this a series. I think they're a young, scrappy team fighting well above their weight class. So you really have no pressure on them because it's all gravy from here. Give me the Cavs in 7. I think they push them.
That seems more realistic to say the least. So, and they do play tonight as we are recording this. And then finally, Knicks and Celtics. Knicks took Game 6 after Brunson crossed the heck out of Asar Thompson. Yes, I saw Thompson to hit that game-stealing bucket.
I love when they're on the replay and they're like, we got to make sure his hand came off the ball in time, and it's like you can see there's 2 seconds.
It was
left
already
the ball.
right there
it's
with 2 seconds
like,
left.
Guys, I could see watching on TV. No need to review it.
No need for that, no sir. But more importantly, you guys took on the Celtics in Game 1 on Monday, and you guys took care of business. As the Knicks
overcoming a 20-point deficit, which I think is the big story. Like, it's not just that it's the Knicks have a different feeling around this whole series now. It's not because the Knicks won; it's because they overcame a 20-point deficit. They could have rolled over and died, but no, this is a team that kept fighting on the road, got to overtime. Mikal Bridges had the overtime of his life and beat the Celtics in their home building, 108-105. Knicks fans took over TD Garden after the game. There's something different about this Knicks team now. There's a feeling now that, okay, it's kind of like it's in Rocky IV when I believe Rocky punches Drago and they're like, the Russian's bleeding. Like, it's like, oh, the Celtics can lose. Okay. I think it gives them the confidence. Give me Knicks in 6.
Okay.
I still have at the Garden.
Ooh. I think Boston does shape up. They won't have the performance that they just did in terms of their shooting, because shooting was terrible for Boston. They shot 15 of 60 from 3-point range, which equals 25%.
Right, but the Knicks also went 14 for 31 from free throws. That's not going to happen every night.
It's not going to happen every night too. Yeah, so I don't know. I did say on the corner, but I said Boston in 5, but was before obviously this game.
Yeah. This game, you don't even need a prediction, but this game changes, right? Like, as a neutral observer, there's a different feeling now, right? After that win.
Because even if Boston takes game 2, you're going to go to the Garden?
Garden tied 1-1. The actual Garden, not that TV Garden, stuff. Bostonians like to call that the Garden. No. There's only one Garden that's the world's most famous arena, and that's Madison Square.
I'm just gonna say Boston in 5.
Right.
Like I said, on the corner booth, but it's for just to prevent from jinxing the Knicks. Yeah. I'm just gonna just say that. Yeah, because you know me, bad luck with sports teams. But yeah. In all seriousness, though, I do think Boston does shape up, and with Jrue Holiday back, I do think he'll still try to limit Brunson. It's hard to limit Brunson because he's just so damn good. But if anyone's going to stop Brunson, it's going to be Holiday. So if Holiday does get the job, and I think Boston does take care of business, because I just don't think everyone else on the Knicks is capable of. Well, Cat, yeah, but we need to see more consistency from Cat a little bit. Let's be honest. But if all goes well with New York, they'll be in the conference finals. And as a Giants fan, to see another New York team have success, that's fine with me. Plus, there's always Giants players in the Knicks games anyway, so I kind of have to also like the Knicks along with the Lakers, but I digress. And then finally, before we go to Pickle, Bill Belichick's kids are worried for him.
Wouldn't you be if your 7-year-old dad was controlled by a 24-year-old?
And yeah, by the way, for those of you who don't know, apparently Belichick's girlfriend got her way onto the Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
I did see that. That was hilarious.
Yeah. They didn't say a single word. I wonder why.
And isn't it weird? I think I could be wrong. I only watched it once, but isn't Jordan the only one wearing pink in that commercial?
Yep.
Just saying. Don't you think if she was always planning to be in the commercial, she'd be wearing orange? Everyone else was matching. Why is she standing out?
Yep. Sorry, I'm gonna lose my shit. If we talked about her, I'm gonna lose my stuff. Apparently, yes, the kids want the best for him. It doesn't seem like he's gained the best treatment from Hudson, according to the kids. It seems like a source told this company called Page Six.
That's the New York Post.
Thank you. Wait, that was it? Well, I'm sorry. I'm slow. Is
So
that a joke?
page 6. So New York Post is famous for the page 6, which is like all the celebrity rumors and stuff.
Thank you. I was just like, that was a joke, and then I didn't.
No.
I just saw page 6 on.
Page 6 has always been like celebrity gossip, and now they just kind of take it on like with the internet and stuff. They take it on like their own thing, but like it's still run by New York Post.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for the clarification because I had no idea what. But yeah, so a source told Page 6 that Hudson and Belichick don't know what they're doing, and Hudson is just trying to control everything. They don't trust anyone else, and he's handed off everything to her. So, look, I mean, he acts like she knows everything. Sorry.
You're good.
Give me D&D next time. She acts like she knows everything. She really doesn't. I mean, her handling of everything that Belichick has been involved in has been complete garbage. First off, with the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, I can guarantee you, if she wasn't there, he would have more fun. He won't say it, but like he'll have a line maybe or two. But I know Hudson was like, "Oh no, I don't think he should say that."
He make a joke about like the 6 Super Bowls or something, or like
yeah,
like, "Oh, it's good to be back," something like that.
What else has she done? Oh yeah, Hard Knocks. Like we talked, I will never forgive her for what she messed up with Hard Knocks. And then that CBS interview where she was like watching like 10 feet. Yeah, this is son of a. I swear to God, I hate her so much, dude. It's not even funny. But anyways, let's move on.
Time for something we like. Pickle.
Yeah, Pickle's always fun, right? Because she can't ruin that for us. But alrighty, let's see if we can guess. The goal is 5 guesses today, so let's see what we can do, buddy. But all right, you're up.
Let's honor the injured. Let's go with Mr. Jesse Winker.
Jesse Winker, imagine.
Damn it.
Well, hey, he's a U.S. He's a left fielder,
and he could play in the East.
He could play in the East, right? Yeah.
No,
so it's an AL East. Okay.
AL East or NL.
Lefty, huh? Left field. Is he? Is Trent Grissom a lefty? No, he does. He plays center field. Gosh, man.
Cody Bellinger is the left fielder for the Yankees, and he's a lefty.
Thank you, sir. That's my guess. I'm taking that. No, he's not.
I mean, he has been playing left field for them.
Okay, I'll just put it just to get the division.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so he's in the NL. All right, now it's your guess because I just copied your recommendation as my guess.
Teoscar Hernandez, is he a lefty?
I think he's a righty.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's a righty, my friend. And he's Dominican.
Oh yeah. That hurts. Not Cheerios, he's a right field, and he's also Venezuelan. Oh, give me Christian Yelich.
He seems like he's in the age range. Helps
a lot. All right.
Let's say Central. Oh God. Pirates, Reds.
Reds, Cubbies, Cards. Nice center fielder.
Dang it.
And he's too young.
I thought he was
29.
He's so good, by the way, Pete Crow.
I know. We gave him up. He was a Met. We traded him for Javier Baez.
Do you regret it?
Yes, because we should have traded Matt Allen for him. That's the guy they wanted. And Matt Allen blew out his elbow.
Maybe next episode will be like top 5 worst recent Mets trades. No.
I mean, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you could. Maybe worst Met moves. I would like to know more about your franchise.
Okay. What do you want? Like the since when? You way back?
How far can you go back?
Pretty far.
All right.
60s.
Okay, that was me.
All right.
I'm excited now. That was my guess, right, Yelich? So, who do you? No, that was your guess.
That was my guess. Was Yelly. So you're up.
Who's in the Reds? Oh wow. What's his name? Ender Carson. Oh no, he's a first baseman. Who's on Pittsburgh? You know what? I'm just gonna get the team.
This is our 5th guess.
Yeah. It's all up to you.
Brendan Donovan.
Okay.
He's a left fielder.
All right. Let me see. Oh, Audis are picking up. Let's see. He's German. He's German.
He's German? Oh, he's probably military parents.
Probably. Do you want to guess him for the team or no? No, right?
No, that's 5.
Okay. Delta Dawn, what's that?
Interesting.
That song was catchy. I saw that on TikTok the other day.
Oh yeah, that pops up all the time. It was like
12 weeks till football.
Yes. Seiya Suzuki. Oh, he's Japanese. Tucker's in right field for the Cubs. It's not him. It's got to be a Red or a Pirate.
It's the Reds.
Yeah, just it was even on the Reds anymore.
What's Friedel? TJ Friedel?
Try it.
Okay, yeah, that was my guess. But this your guess.
That's all right. I gave you Ballinger.
True.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Tommy Pham. He's a righty. Crap. I'll do it. Screw it.
Yeah, okay. I'll do Pham. You do Pham, and I'll do the Pirate. My dummy. I should have. Oh my God, I gotta pay attention. Then we did a Pirate, and then I
I wasn't even thinking.
That's my fault. I'll let you do it. It's my fault for not catching that he was a Pirate. I'll put Friedel and see if we get.
I just saw Pham pop up. Oh, he's a Cub. He's a Cubby.
So we know it's a Cub. So who in the world is the Cubs left fielder?
Or Cardinal. We haven't guessed Cardinals yet.
We didn't?
Nope.
Fudge.
Because Donovan. I'm pretty sure Donovan is the left fielder this year.
Okay.
But he's as a second baseman, so they're not going to count it.
Oh, he's German. God dang it.
And he's German.
Yeah, I'm jumping to conclusions. Who in the fudge is in left field for Chicago? Is Armstrong?
No, Armstrong's center field.
Suzuki's right.
No, Tucker's in right field. Suzuki might be DH.
That was an outfielder. Oh, that's weird.
I mean, he is an outfielder, but could it be
We can get the team if you want it.
Yeah.
But that would risk us losing too much chances. Or losing another chance, I should say.
Yeah, just throw Suzuki on there. See what happens.
So we know for sure it's a Cardinal.
We just played them too, which is pissing me off.
I know.
Trying to think who haunted me all series. Arenado is at third. Contreras is at first. Donovan, I guess, is at second. It's your guess.
I'm screwed. Cardinals. I don't even know their roster like that.
Jordan Walker.
First baseman, right? No, he's
right field.
No, he's right. I've seen him in right for sure. Frito Walker.
Lars Newbar. Newbar.
He's Japanese, I think.
Is he? Woohoo!
I think it was Japanese because he
played in Japan.
Ah, that makes sense. I was like, he's Japanese, ain't he?
Yeah, I think he just played in Japan.
That makes so much sense. You said today once again, my friend, we have not missed one as a group together, which is very impressive. So we are not casual. I may be. Brian is not a casual. I'm close to the border, but I'm an A's fan and a Phillies fan. And I know some stuff, just not. I don't follow poverty teams. No, I take that back.
I don't think you can call the Cardinals a poverty team. I think it's the exact opposite of a poverty team.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't watch.
You follow the A's. What are you talking about, poverty? That's the definition of poverty.
We're first place.
All right.
I only follow good teams. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I follow good teams. And the A's are a good team. So. But alrighty, overall, great job. And that will do it for episode 3 of season 3 of the 3rd and 10 podcast. Interview, we talked about the Shadeur Sanders, ending that debate there about my thoughts on him. Super glad we got Dart and excited to see him play whenever he gets the chance. We talked about our best sleepers to draft in fantasy for this upcoming season. And for those of you who want the full rankings from Brian, check out the article on bellyupsports.com. And also you can find that article if you're lazy, you can go on social media at Brian PG1016 and find the article there. We also talked about the Mets, how they finished up their series against the Cardinals, and they are kicking off their series. Well, they're in the middle of their series against the D-backs, who the Phillies took care of over the weekend. So shout out to the Phillies. And then finally, we end the show with our post-game segment, which included Justin Tucker getting released and all the fun stuff there. So, long episode today. We apologize for that. That Shadeur Sanders thing went on longer than I expected. So, my apologies there. But you can follow us on social media at Nathan_124 and Brian PG1016 on all things on Twitter. And you can follow our podcast page at 3rd and 10 Pod on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And then you can find our article work, whether it's Brian's or mine's or all the other podcasts that exist on the Belly Up Sports Network at bellyupsports.com. We'll see you Thursday for more Mets talk. As we sort of, sneak peeked earlier, we'll talk about the worst Mets moves of all time. It seems like that Brian's going to be doing. So I'm excited to learn more about his favorite team. Because in the past, all I've known about them is that they're the Phillies rivals and that we should hate them as Phillies fans. But with Brian being my co-host, I can't really hate the Mets. I have to really kind of...
I can hate the Phillies.
See? So Brian doesn't hold back. I do. I never really hated a team.
Oh, I hate teams.
Well, I know you do. I know you do. Trust me. But we'll see you guys on Thursday with more NFL talk and NBA updates and all that stuff. So until then, I'm Nate for Brian. Thank you guys so much as always. And thank you for supporting us. We'll see you guys soon.